Hello, everyone. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment during this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. According to the host of the G20 summit in Indonesia, Russian President Vladimir Putin has accepted an invitation to attend in November. The G20 summit is an international conference that consists of 19 countries and the European Union, designed to work on issues like international financial stability and climate change. The G20 is still 6 months away, but U.S. President Joe Biden says Russia should be ejected from the summit. U.S. officials say a lot could happen between now and November, but it is inappropriate for the international community to keep treating Russia as if things are normal, because it is not. Residents in Beijing could be seen panic buying in stores in preparation for mass COVID testing. Three rounds of COVID PCR testing started this week for another 16 million residents. That's on top of plans to test 3.5 million residents, which were announced this past weekend. COVID cases are on the rise there, and companies are being encouraged to ask their staff to work from home, and for the public to avoid non-essential travel. UNICEF is urging residents in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, to be extremely careful after a second person died of Ebola. The first person who died met several people on boats, motorcycles, and in church. And now those people could be in remote areas, increasing the likelihood of the disease being spread. UNICEF says it is raising awareness about Ebola in local communities and providing medical support for families. A new U.S. Defense Department report estimates the U.S. military left behind $7 billion worth of equipment when it withdrew from Afghanistan last year. The items left behind include aircraft, about 40,000 military vehicles, more than 300,000 weapons, and close to 10,000 air-to-ground munitions. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was highly controversial and chaotic. And the new report highlights a major problem. all that equipment left behind fell into the hands of the Taliban, who it was meant to help Afghanistan's military fight against. The world's oldest person died this week at the age of 119. Kane Tanaka was born on January 2nd, 1903, and died April 19th, 2022. Earlier this month, her family said she had been sick and in and out of the hospital. Japanese officials say Tanaka was certified by the Guinness World Records as the world's oldest person. She was supposed to take part in the Olympic torch relay at the postponed 2020 Summer Olympics, but she did not participate because of COVID-19 concerns. Two tennis stars are making international sports news. Six-time Grand Slam champion Boris Becker has been sentenced to 2.5 years in jail. Earlier this month, Becker was found guilty in the United Kingdom of 4 offenses related to his bankruptcy, including failing to disclose assets. And Novak Djokovic will be allowed to defend his Wimbledon title this summer. Tournament organizers announced players who were unvaccinated against COVID can compete. The club said because the United Kingdom does not require vaccination to enter it, they will not require it either, but they do encourage it. Djokovic was not allowed at the Australian Open in January after his visa was revoked due to his unvaccinated status. An Italian woman named Mary Mion got her birthday cake returned 77 years after it was stolen. Her mother baked her a cake in April of 1945 for her 13th birthday. It was also the same day U.S. troops arrived in her hometown after fighting the Germans during World War II. The cake was cooling off on a windowsill. And at some point, it was taken by the Americans, never to be seen again. But earlier this week, American soldiers presented Mion, who turned 90 on Friday, with a replacement cake. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates, international news updates every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.